Hello everyone. Today I want to show you how you can create a Kubernetes cluster in AWS. It's actually a bigger endeavor than it is in Google Cloud. It also takes longer. So this video will probably span into at least 2 videos. So let's get started and see what you can do. So the objective here is to create a Kubernetes cluster on AWS using a free tool called eksctl. That was done by a third party, but then AWS made it on its own. It is free. This is because creating a cluster on EKS through AWS is actually way too complicated than it should be. But this tool, this command line tool, makes it easier to deal with it. So, okay, so let's look at the requirements. We're going to create a cluster. We're going to see the resources using kubectl, and then we're going to delete the cluster. So for prerequisites, I have to have an account, which I do, and that account has to have command line access. So one way to check that is just to run this command. That means that I don't have any buckets right now, so it's empty. But if I didn't have access, it would have given me an error message. So that's a quick, easy way to check that I'm connected to AWS at the CLI level. And for security reasons, I'm not going to go through, give you a lot more detail than that. There's other videos out there how we can do that. I do have to define 3 different variables and export it out. Those values are secret values, so I can't show you that, but you do have to have them in your environment. So if I do that, you see that these 3 variables are actually defined and they have values. I cut it into a first word, that way you don't see the actual values. All right, so that's that. We must have eksctl install. I want to show you anyway how to install this on a Mac. That will be helpful. I will put these instructions in the description below, so you don't have to go and look them up or anything like that. So let's pretend to install this thing again, even though I have it installed. It's pretty quick. Yeah, weaveworks is the company that made it to begin with, and now it's the AWS thing. To confirm that it is actually installed, we do the version command. Ah, dang it. All right, save that. Let's go back to here and run the version command. Let's make this a little smaller so you can see better. All right, so version is 0.126. Let me make sure I have plenty of time for this. You have 2 minutes left, so this is definitely going to go into a second part of the video. All right, so to create a cluster, there are many options that you can give it. Generally, better way to do this through a config file, and that config file would be in a repo, but right now we're doing a demo, so we just run this command to get it going, and I will show you. So in this case, I'm choosing for spot instances, so it'll be cheaper. That means that Amazon can cut it off within an hour notice if they need to. The instance type is M1 medium, which is kind of a good balance between cost versus how big they are. And I'm telling it that maximum number of instances is 2. That means don't scale it up or anything. Also, minimum is 2. That way, I have just enough power to get it going, but I also don't. Basically, I'm telling him always have 2 worker nodes and no more. So that's all I'm going to do, and it's gonna kick off a cloud permission stack to get this going. And when I've done this in the past, it took 20 minutes. So I will have to pause the video here and do a second part of this video to do the rest of it. So I will see you in part 2 of this recording. And right now it's just, and it tells you actually how you can check this too. So let me do that real quick. I can run this command to see if there's any problems. And if I run this, let me get a new little window here and run that. Oh, I think I messed something up in here. Oh, I think I missed a quote. All right, so let's try this again. Oh, I have 2 extra codes, so we don't need the codes. I just need to see how it's going. You got a bunch of jib about what's there, but I guess there's a problem. There's an error message or something like that. Anyway, I will see you in part 2 of this video.